Now let's take a look back at the shape that we drew for North America. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to click on the shape that I have edited to make it look a little bit more accurate. And notice that this time when I click on it, it does say that our area is 10.5 million square miles. It's also showing us the distance all the way around our shape. So those are two ways that we can look at measurement, look at our distance, and look at area here in our map. There's another thing that we can also look at. So I'm going to take off our continents and I'm going to come down here to the Oregon Trail and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And you can see that I've added the Oregon Trail starting in Independence, Missouri, and going all the way to Oregon City. And you can see that with this line, I'm using this line to tell me where the trail is. And it's saying that the trail is 1,499 miles. This is really close because the Oregon Trail is estimated to be around 2,170 miles. So you can see how close I am by only putting in these two distant points. I could have the students, or I could use it as teaching the students, and I can use these points that are in here to maybe drag and drop. You can see I've got a point here. I could maybe pull this down and put a little bit more points into my Oregon Trail. Notice how my distance is changing. And I can come up here and put in some other important cities and locations that I would like the students to look at, or I could have them create and show me. And now this time when I click on it, the distance has already changed. So you can use the lines and you can use your shapes to look at different types of measurement. There is one more option when it comes to looking at our distance and our areas. It's to come up here and click on this ruler. Now the difference is what I just did is already existing on my map. By clicking on this measure distance and area tool, it's only temporary. So if I wanted to see approximately maybe the area of Canada, this is very, very quick and it's very temporary. So I'm going to just go very quickly all the way around and come back and click on the very first point. Very similar to drawing a shape. It's going to shade it in, and it's going to go ahead and tell me that area as well as the distance all the way around. But notice that if I click outside of that shape, it disappears. So this measurement tool up here at the top is temporary. I can also use this measurement and distance tool to figure out how long the border is between Canada and the United States. So I can click once and you can see as I drag, the further I drag, my distance is changing. So I'm just going to do it roughly. Now notice when I get to the end, all I did was a single click for that last point. And you can see that my distance is still going. If I want this to let go, I have to be very careful with this because I could lose everything I just did. So you're going to bring your cursor back in and watch for when your mouse changes. So notice how my mouse is a plus sign. When I get to the point where I see my pointer finger, that little icon, we're going to click one time. Do not click two times like you're used to in Google Drawings. Only click one time. And when you let go, notice how my hand has changed. I now have this hand, this grab feature, and I can grab my line. I can grab these points in my line, and I can grab my map and move it up and down. So this is my final calculated distance. If you notice when we're zoomed in, it's telling me that between here and here it is 1,000 miles. Between there and here it's 2,000, 3,000, and my total is 3,115 miles. So again, this is temporary because when I click outside of that line, it disappears. So make sure you notice the difference between this measure distance and area tool versus having a line and the area already existing on your map. So again, when I click on this line, it's going to tell me the distance, which I can change by moving these points around, and it will change. I can also look at the area. And we can look at the area of this shape as well as the distance that go around this shape. So these are permanent because they're already on our map, whereas this measure distance and area tool is temporary. I'm temporarily drawing a line, and when I double click or click outside, it disappears and it's gone.